It's being called Hillary's university problem. It's actually Laureate International Universities, run and owned by a good friend of the Clintons. It's private, it's for-profit, and the profits are huge. Laureate operates mostly in Latin America, has 1 million students worldwide, and brings in revenues of more than $4 billion.
It all started with a powerful mission. The mission of making quality higher education accessible.
Its CEO, Clinton pal Doug Becker, made $2.4 million last year alone.
The network of Laureate International Universities has grown to more than 70 educational institutions across 29 countries.
And Laureate is not without its own problems. It has faced investigations in Brazil over whether students were getting their money's worth, and in Chile concerning its for-profit status. U.S. students have complained the school failed to deliver on its promised degree programs. 3 of the 5 schools Laureate operates in the United States are under what the U.S. Department of Education calls heightened cash monitoring because of potential problems with its financial responsibility, though the school told CNN it disagrees with the government's methodology. It would seem like the exact type of business Hillary Clinton might have a problem with.
There are students who take out loans to pay for an expensive degree from a for-profit institution, only to find little support once they actually enroll, or they graduate and discover that when it comes to getting the job they were promised, their degree is not worth what they thought.
But you won't find Hillary Clinton saying one word about Laureate University. While she was traveling the world as Secretary of State, her husband was traveling the world and being paid a fortune as the honorary chancellor of Laureate International Universities.
I've traveled to 14 Laureate universities in a dozen countries.
Bill Clinton was paid $17.6 million by Laureate from 2010 until 2015, when his contract was up and he stepped down.
And I hope you'll
several weeks after Secretary Clinton announced her bid to run for president.
Such an honor for us to have him as our honorary chancellor. But what most people don't know is that that actually started because of CGI.
Laureate, with Doug Becker at the helm, not only paid Bill Clinton $17.6 million, it has donated between $1 and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation and has partnered with the Clinton Global Initiative since 2008. And all along the way, Becker has contributed to Democratic campaign funds, including Hillary Clinton.
An NBC News investigation into the Clinton connection to a controversial for-profit university. Hillary Clinton has slammed some of these schools as predatory, but as NBC News senior investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden found, husband Bill Clinton made millions from one such school.
Since announcing for president, Hillary Clinton has been a vocal critic of for-profit universities in general.
We will crack down on predatory schools.
And of Trump University in particular.
He is trying to scam America the way he scammed all those people at Trump U.
But it isn't just Donald Trump who's profited. For 5 years, Bill Clinton was the honorary chancellor of the biggest for-profit education company in the world, Laureate Education, Inc. While Trump University is not accredited and Laureate is, Bill Clinton was paid an enormous fee, $17.6 million over 5 years, visiting 19 campuses in 14 countries. The Clinton Foundation also got between $1 and $5 million from Laureate.
I admire Laureate's dedication to helping the next generation of leaders.
Stepping down only 12 days before his wife launched her run for the presidency.
There are students who take out loans to pay for an expensive degree from a for-profit institution, only to find little support once they actually enroll.
But as Secretary of State, she praised Laureate, writing to her staff that founder Doug Becker is someone who Bill likes a lot, and that Laureate should be included in a State Department dinner. They were. Over the last 3 months, NBC News has taken a closer look at Laureate's U.S. flagship, Walden University. More than 24 students tell us the school misled them, trapping them in staggering amounts of student loan debt.
The 5 of you represent $1 million of student debt sitting here.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
You've taken me from a successful career to poverty.
Yep.
These 5 PhD students all claim Walden's constant churning of faculty and standards caused them to go further and further in debt while raking in profits for the university. They're part of a group of 80 students who hope to file a class action lawsuit.
I had 5 committee members over the 6 years.
So they kept changing.
That's part of that scam that we are talking about.
Laureate tells us their program is high quality, vigorous, and challenging. And a 2012 Senate report says Walden was perhaps the best of any company examined. Laureate and Walden declined to give us graduation rates for their PhD candidates, but pointed us to 3 students who said they were satisfied with their experiences, one who got his PhD on a full scholarship.
Is it possible that you just don't have what it takes to get a PhD?
Even then, they should have told us, you don't keep me here. Right. They could have told me. They could have said, you are not cut out for this. Have a nice life.
I've lost everything. I have nothing to lose.
What would you like Bill Clinton to know?
That he can forgive our loans. He can do that.
Yep.
Because, see, I don't think he want to be representative of something that is basically unfair or unethical. He can't give us back our years, but he can give us back our dignity.
Bill and Hillary Clinton declined to comment on these students' allegations, but a spokesman for Bill Clinton says he was pleased to support Laureate's mission to expand higher education, while Hillary Clinton's national spokesperson said all for-profit institutions should be held to the same standards and that she intends to crack down on bad actors. Cynthia McFadden, NBC News,
Clintons are
New York.
adding another check to their list of controversies. Clinton University scandal taking center stage as it is much bigger than Donald Trump's, actually. For-profit college named Bill Clinton honorary chancellor, a position that paid him $16.5 million over 5 years. Chump change. No one's talking about this, no. Now, here now is Charles Ortel. He's the whistleblower who previously found major gaps in the foundation, so much of the Clinton finances. Let me ask you about this one. So he's getting paid by Laureate at the same time that Laureate has business before the State Department. Hillary Clinton is in charge, and they're giving money to Laureate. Laureate's giving money to Bill Clinton. I mean, how is that? What am I missing? Because that sounds like...
It's a major scandal. First of all, let's talk size. We're talking here in the Laureate transaction. It's a $4 billion transaction when it was originally completed in August of 2007. So it's sizable. It came together just as the credit crisis was unfolding. And a lot of people who were involved in this transaction ultimately were benefited by the U.S. government, Citibank, Goldman, other people. And this thing, the basic idea of a for-profit university doesn't really make that much sense. The Obama administration has targeted many others. But so the disclosures for the Clinton Foundation and the disclosures from Laureate do not explain, even now, even the ones that were amended for the Clinton Foundation in November last year, they don't explain that Bill was taking $16.5 million and
well,
Hillary...
Well, they don't explain it. How did you figure it out? Because maybe that's the problem why they're not getting in trouble, is because as clearly as we painted it, it's not painted that clearly to the average eye.
Well, actually, you know where you can find it is you can find some of this in the SEC filings that are available in the public domain for 2 transactions that are now ongoing, starting last year, to try to raise money at the Laureate level, common stock, and to exchange debt at the Laureate level. Those disclosure documents are hundreds of pages long, and they don't explain these payments, nor do the revised Clinton Foundation filings. So the same regulators who are looking at the Laureate transactions, the SEC, the state regulators, the foreign regulators, should now turn their attention to the Clinton filings and look at these discrepancies. They're massive.
Just to explain to the audience out there that might not know, you did a tremendous amount of work to go through all of these papers and put this together, and no average person can do this. I think a lot of government bureaucrats and officials would have a very hard time doing this. You have a reputation for having done this very accurately in the past before the financial crisis and predicting a lot of problems there and going through the records. So I would imagine you went through all this and then you go and present it to someone, right, and kind of show them how to connect the dots. Have you done that? Where does that stand?
I have done that. What I did is I realized that early on this is such a variance today from where it was 15 months ago or 16 months ago. I mean, people, even I, when I thought about the Clinton Foundation at first, I thought former president, aspiring president, Chelsea Clinton, PhD, a lot of smart people and money around this. The filing should have been great. So even I, when I looked at it, didn't believe it. But then I took it around to a large number of experts, lawyers, accountants, et cetera, satisfied myself that I was right. Then I satisfied myself that it has such overwhelming political consequences that it would take time for the public to get it. I've taken it to certain state regulators. I've taken it to certain foreign people.
Would it be the FBI? I mean, who would be the IRS?
Well, I'm told, I mean, neither the IRS nor the FBI have approached me. I wrote an article last year that was in Fox, actually, that got a tremendous amount of coverage. Why isn't the IRS auditing the Clinton Foundation? And I got to believe if it weren't so politicized, it would be.
Okay. I mean, we're not going to let this go. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate your time.
Candidate Clinton has vowed to crack down on predatory for-profit schools as part of a broader plan to help lessen crippling student loan burdens on millions of Americans. But her husband, former President Bill Clinton, took at least $17.6 million from Laureate International Universities, a large for-profit education conglomerate that runs at least 80 schools and universities across the world, in exchange for a 5-year role as honorary chancellor. As part of that job, which Clinton held from 2010 to 2015, he traveled the world talking about what the school had to offer, according to NBC Network. One of the Laureate's largest schools in the U.S., Walden University, was found to have burdened students with the second highest debt load of any American school, according to a 2015 study by the Brookings Institute. Bill Clinton appears to have resigned from his position with Laureate just days before Hillary Clinton announced her campaign. Representatives with the Clinton campaign didn't immediately respond to questions from the Daily News about the matter.